Okay, that was a quick little break. I think we're done. I think we're back.
What year is it?
What did we miss since last time? Welcome back, everybody. It's been
7 months?
not
8
a
months?
year. It was November, I think.
Was it November and now it's July?
Sorry, Randy's not here. This is kind of spur of the moment.
This could be Randy for now.
It's not sage.
It is Rivian.
Green.
It's Compass Yellow.
Yeah.
If the camera can't tell, it's Compass Yellow.
So obviously, we're still seeing each other outside of recording the podcast. We're
He's
still
lying. This is the first time I've seen him in years. And he wears glasses as well.
Wow, you're making the glasses come off. No, so we still hang out. We're still catching up, but we just figured like, hey, you know what? We had a little bit of time tonight between all of our busyness of life and jobs and everything.
A lot of projects.
Very many projects going on, and then just decide, you know what? We're going to talk about EVs for a while. We used to have an EV podcast. Why don't we just record this one? So it's very spur of the moment. But how have you been? For those
Good.
curious.
I've been good. I mean, compared to your experience, my Y's been doing pretty well this year.
Yeah,
You've
we've
had
got
all-
the first Y ever.
Me?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you were the first customer delivery.
Yeah, we still haven't talked about what number it is because the serial
That's
number
okay.
has it right there. Still, like, was it first 150? I think his wife said in the past or whatever.
Yeah, which a bunch are employee deliveries.
Oh, that's great. No,
Uh,
it's still doing great. No issues. I've had worse service center experience than you. So all the
yeah.
videos that you make on the
You're
YouTube
not
channel,
you're not complaining about it.
I'm not on
publicly.
social media really either.
They're like,
so.
oh, we can screw him over because he's not going to complain about
No,
it.
the most recent one was I finally got a chip in the windshield.
Oh,
And so I immediately put glue in it. I immediately called up Tesla Insurance and then scheduled a service visit and all that. And in the messages, they're like, okay, it'll be like $140. And I'm like,
okay.
let me confirm with you. This is for a new windshield, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I already put glue in it. They're like, yes, it's for a new windshield. They confirmed it. I'm like, cool. I've never heard of $141 for
Did
a
it
new
actually
windshield.
give you the cost estimate thing?
Yeah.
And you hit approve.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Because I confirmed, is this for a new... I'm not going to, like, have them glue what I've already glued.
You might need a lawyer. You might be onto something there.
Maybe so, but when I went and they said, we're not going to honor this,
Because obviously that's very cheap for a windshield. replacement.
$141 for a windshield is
I
very
would
cheap,
take
yeah.
that immediately.
That's what I did too. I'm like, $140, sure.
And you double down on it. Wow.
Yeah, so that's
So you
very
get there and
convenient.
they were like, nah.
Yeah, they pretty much said nah because they're like, oh, I thought we were putting glue in this, but you said you already put glue in it. It's like, what is this for? I'm like, it's for a new windshield.
That's what
And
it
they're
said.
like, we never agreed to that. I'm like, it's right here on your end. They're like, oh, that was our mistake. We're not going to honor that. Do you want a new windshield? It's going to cost you around like, I think they quoted like $900 or something like
Wow.
that. I'm like, no, I'm just going
Nah.
to drive home. And it was a little bit inconvenient because the wife had to drive across town to come pick me up for the service thing, but because they canceled.
That's very frustrating.
Yeah, so that was not fun.
Yeah.
But otherwise, car's been fine. There hasn't been any other issues with it,
Good.
thankfully.
And you've supercharged a lot, right?
I supercharge it at least twice a week.
Wow. So that's on a March 2020 battery pack.
Mm-hmm.
Over
Well,
5
it was
years?
made before March 2020, probably.
Right, okay.
Right?
So even older than that. So it's over 5 years old.
Because
and
I believe the
battery's
car
still
was
strong.
made in February, is what it says on the
Wow.
door frame.
Right, okay.
And
Yeah.
so it was that battery was probably at least manufactured in the end of 2019,
Wow.
I would think, unless they really made it right up to the end.
So it's got quite a calendar life.
Mm-hmm.
Then-
On superchargers and everything.
Yeah.
It hasn't had. I mean, you're catching up to me with the 3 in terms of mileage, but
I think I passed you.
you've
actually.
probably passed me at this point. 'Cause
What
I'm
are you at?
I think I'm at like 78, 79.
Oh, yeah. So we're at 83,000 on
Okay.
the 3. And then the Y's at just hit 75.
Oh, nice.
So in a sense, it's almost.
So that's
like
what
neck and neck.
the truck's kind of doing as well because we
Uh-huh.
got not too long after the Y, and it's around like I think 50 or 60,000 miles, but it's a truck. It's
Yeah.
not supposed to be doing too much, even though we did
Sure.
like a road trip with it. it's meant to be the work truck of when we need to
Right.
haul stuff or tow stuff.
And
It's
you
not
have
meant
to
to.
use it.
Yeah, it's not meant to be the daily driver like the Y,
Yeah.
even though it is used like the daily driver for the
Yeah.
wife.
Because it's the only other
Yeah.
car.
How else do we get around?
Yeah,
Right?
you need it.
We're very car centric here.
That's fair. Well, man. Okay. Well, now everyone's in the loop. I guess I never mentioned that on the podcast. We have a Model Y now too.
For those that only exclusively listen to the podcast and haven't caught up,
Who are
with
really
either-
confused right now.
Yeah.
They're
Why
like,
is
what?
Drew talking about a Y? And
When
then,
did this happen?
Yeah, so I guess for those who aren't in the loop, I guess you got a Y and
Got a
then
used Model Y for pretty cheap.
white on white, which
Yeah, it's
I'm
almost identical.
still baffled by that you got another white interior, white exterior car that I couldn't deal with that.
That's fair.
It's too bright on the eyes, and then also I feel like it'd get really dirty real quick, at least for me.
It's a valid concern, although I will say this one was very much more Louise's decision over mine.
Gotcha.
It was like, okay, you wanted the 3, you got the 3. I want this one. She loved the white interior, exterior. She wanted the tow hitch, and it had one. She wanted all-wheel drive. It even had acceleration boost. She did not want that, but it has it. And even the guy we got it from bought it used, so we are the third
Nice.
owners. So
That's
we feel
great.
like that benefits Tesla the least, which we're okay with.
In 2025, I guess.
Yeah, you have to preface that. It's like, why did you buy it? It's
The
like,
amount of
yeah.
stickers I see on the back of Teslas these days, by the way, that say not
There's so
no
many.
Elon or I bought this before Elon or
I don't like Elon either, and I don't like what he's done, but I don't get the sticker thing either. I just, to me, that just screams fear. It just screams, don't vandalize my car.
Mhm.
So far,
Which
we
people
haven't
will
been
anyways,
vandalized. Yeah,
if
I
they're
was
feeling
gonna
like
say,
it.
If someone's going to vandalize your personal property because they don't like to see you, I don't think the sticker is going to make a, oh,
Oh, but
okay, it's fine.
they're one of us.
They're one of us. Or they say, I've seen this protest where the sign says, sell your Tesla. And I'm always like, to who? And then you'll be mad at them. I don't see how that trail ends. It's just this endless, you sell it and then you sell it until there's just everyone trying to sell them and no one buying them. I don't know.
It's already happening right now with the surplus of Teslas on dealership lots or whatever.
I
you
will
wanna call
say,
it.
if you're not worried about the vandalism, there are some great deals now on used Teslas. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely shot the increased the depreciation. What's the?
It's fostered a very great market for the customer.
I just mean my 3 has lost so much value,
Yeah.
but I had no intention on selling it, so it doesn't really make a difference to me.
That's what always makes me laugh when someone's like, "Oh, EVs depreciate in value so much." I'm like, I have no intention on selling it unless I'm just
No.
really annoyed by the product,
I mean, if
and then I'll move on to something else that's an EV that I'm more
Yeah.
interested in. I don't care whether it's going to depreciate or not because I'm not in it for reselling it. I'm in
No.
it for using it.
just to be clear, you should never buy a car as a way to store value or worth.
Unless I've some arguments about like the Cybertruck I think make sense to me because it's so polarizing and who knows how long Tesla will make it or at least try
Well,
to
they're not
keep
holding
it
the
going.
value that well now.
Right, but the same thing happened with DeLorean, right?
Yeah.
Is that not too many people were buying it first because they're like, what the heck is this thing? And then Back to the Future made it a little bit more popular and it became an icon of its era. And so now when you
Yeah.
see them on the road, one, it's striking because it's just so different.
It is different.
And you see that with like a bunch of other.
But still, that's going to take a while. It's not present today.
Oh, no. This is long game
Even
type of
if
stuff.
I don't even know if the Cybertruck will get the same level of
I don't think so.
exclusive treatment as DeLorean, but even if it did, we're talking 10, 20 years.
What does the battery pack look like at
And
that
how's
point?
the battery? And also compare that to just throwing money in mutual funds in the stock market and how that performs after 20 years.
Right.
That's a lot more. That's less of a bet. That's just more of a stable, consistent. Like
It's kind of funny, right?
it's like the car thing. You don't really know what's going to happen to it. It depends, but
Right.
yeah. So I still love the 3, and I will say it's buying the Y and road tripping in the Y has made me really appreciate the LFP battery because I didn't realize how great the charge curve was because that was the only Tesla we had.
We got pretty far pretty quickly and that 3 when we did.
Oh
that
yeah, the road trip
last year. Yeah.
I just didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh yeah, it's a Tesla. You plug it in and it supercharges. But
I mean, you could check on Better Route Planner, right?
Right.
It's like the difference is minutes.
it's trivial. But I honestly think, compared to the Y, the 3 might road trip faster, just because of how deep it holds current into the pack. Especially at those higher states of charge, it'll keep pulling. It'll be 50 kilowatts at 95%.
What's the range of your 3 right now?
I think it's 250.
I guess the estimated of whatever the computer thinks it is.
It's 250 something, but
Okay,
yeah, it's
the Y's
definitely a
probably going to
2.5.
dip down to that eventually.
Yeah,
If you keep
well,
it that-
it definitely did when the battery died.
Because I can definitely tell with mine, I'm charging it twice a week, and I'm
Yeah.
not driving super far.
And you probably don't charge to full.
No, I charge to like 80 or something like
because
that.
it gets so slow above 80.
Oh
it
my
tapers
gosh, there's
off.
many times that like it's a Thursday
Yeah,
and I'm getting to work early, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I could probably stop at the supercharger nearby.
yeah,
And so I'm at like 50%.
right.
And so I'm not going to get a fast charge at
No.
50%.
No,
And to get from 50 to 80, it's going to take the same amount of time that it would have taken if I went from like 20 to 80.
probably
Pretty
with the
much.
preconditioning.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so it's pretty much the same amount of time that I already spent like 2 days prior.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's less. But anyways, my Y is like probably around like 280 miles of estimated range right
That's
now.
about
and
right. That sounds right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a little bit lower to like 270s. And
Sure.
I slightly envy that LFP charging rate that you talk about, because with my Y, it's like, well, even at the V3s or V4s, I'm still just sitting there. I feel like a Chevy Bolt.
Right. I've also noticed we don't even need to precondition the LFP much.
Mhm.
Sometimes we'll, I don't know what you call it, plug it in raw. It's had no time to warm up. It'll immediately get peak speed. And I was like, oh, wow. Maybe it's just because it's a warm climate where we live.
That's a clip.
But no, I am very thankful for that pack. And I like not thinking about 80 versus 100. And now I'm paranoid with the Y battery because I'm just like,
Welcome to the club.
this will probably go bad again in our ownership.
Yeah, because it's a refurbished pack.
It's
That's in there
refurbished
now.
and it's a 21. I hope they put in a better pack, but I don't really know. We'll never really know until it goes bad. But
I would think if it's
We'll see.
refurbished, they've probably checked the seals.
I would hope so. But it is Tesla, so
Could be
you
cutting
can't get
corners.
certainty. But yeah, we'll see. I'm still glad we bought it. I don't regret it just because it was such a good deal, and even with pack replacement, is hard to find something that price that would be that good at road tripping.
Sure.
It's changing slowly over time as more EVs are.
Mhm.
Lots more EVs have adopted NACS since our last podcast,
Yeah.
even natively.
We haven't really been well, we haven't been doing the podcast, so we can't really
We
highlight
gave
it on
them
the
time.
weekly. Yeah.
They've got time.
I mean, it
But-
still takes time for them too, especially
Yeah.
with the crazy world that we live in right now, where EVs aren't really being incentivized anymore.
Yeah,
There's a lot less drive to really get progress going on
Right.
what plug type to choose and how to modify where that port is on the vehicle to get the best user experience and all that. It's more of an afterthought now.
that definitely seems to have been more complicated than I thought.
Mhm.
I thought everyone's going to switch to NACS, and hopefully they could move the port to be in a more convenient. And a lot of companies have not moved it, even though they switched to NACS.
No, even was it the
Ioniq 5
Ioniq 5 is still on the back right.
kept it in the same
The,
place.
the
but
KEV6 EV6 has it on the back left, which is nice.
that's right, they moved it. Yeah,
I don't know if it's NACS yet, but the
it
port.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it. And
Cool.
I was like, thank you, someone did it.
I did see.
then-
I told you this earlier, so don't act too surprised.
Yeah,
but I
it's
did
okay.
see Ioniq 9
Oh, yeah.
yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and that was really cool.
Yeah, it's very unique looking.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, we
different.
could put it up maybe if we do any editing on this podcast,
Yeah.
but
I can't see how far along we are.
right,
Whatever. I'll find it.
Yeah, but it was right next to a e-Golf or just a regular
Oh,
VW
okay.
Golf, and it didn't actually look as big as maybe some of the pictures show, or at least
Yeah.
the videos or reviews that you've seen of the Ioniq 9.
Mhm.
It didn't look as big as you'd expect compared to like a Golf,
Yeah.
which I was slightly surprised by. But
No, it slopes a lot, I think. off the back.
Yeah, it's almost like a minivan in terms of shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then having the logo kind of hidden behind the glass was a little bit weird, but otherwise,
It
it's
looks
not bad.
spacious though. It looks like a very roomy 3-row, which are doing well. So, and it's on that shared platform with the EV9. So I think they rightfully did not just carbon cut copy the EV9.
No, Hyundai and Kia are really killing it in terms of
Yeah.
here's what this brand offers and here's what that brand offers.
Right.
And they're not eating the lunch of each other too much.
No.
It's more of just if you want the Kia feel, you get that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want a little bit more of a Hyundai feel, you go for that.
Yeah,
And
even
that's-
more broad. They went kind of boxy and bubbly.
Yeah.
It was like,
Or at least my buddy who had a Veloster, which is kind of the same look as the Ioniq 5.
mm-hmm.
He loved the Veloster, but he felt it was time to get a new vehicle after
Yeah.
driving it for so long. And what did he go for? The Ioniq 5.
yeah.
Because it looks very similar. It's an AV.
Oh yeah.
And so there's that comfort of I
Mhm.
want something that had the same usability and shape and look as what I had before,
Yeah,
but an EV.
and they're pretty spacious. They're
Yeah.
the Ioniq 5 in pictures looks smaller than it.
No, we
really is.
test drove one, I think like
That was a while ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah, one
3
of my-
years ago.
Coworkers got a new one with NACS and everything, and he let me
Nice.
play around with it. But yeah,
Is
they
it any
fixed the
different?
white bezels.
Okay, good
We
for
got
you.
the black bezels.
They got the black bezels from the
Um,
EV6.
Yeah, and the color they do a matte paint option from the factory.
Did you get a
which
matte
looks-
green or matte
Yeah.
blue? Okay.
I think it's green.
I like the green.
It's kind of a mix. It's not super green, but it's beautiful.
I got curious and I was kind of just configuring them.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the 5N
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
I'm like, this is
They're a
cool.
lot
But
of
they
fun.
kill all the options on the 5N.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't have the best range. But
Of course.
I think,
Yeah,
was it the new no, the Ioniq 6N.
Oh yeah.
Definitely has a lot more things that
Right.
I'm very excited about. I don't know if you've...
Way more. I did watch some reviews of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
my favorite thing from them, which if listeners or viewers don't know, it's got, I forget who described it as this. I think it was the straight pipes guys, but they described it as one pedal drifting,
I think I did. hear
which
that.
is like,
That's awesome.
I never thought about that as like a thing. I mean,
One
like
pedal drift.
drifting is kind of that way. It's
Right.
like you initiate it and then pretty
Right.
much you're just feathering the throttle
Yep.
at that point and then managing it with the steering wheel. But the Ioniq 6N has a mode of pretty much just one pedal drifting, and you just initiate it in the directions that it gives you, and then you're just drifting
Oh,
in
yeah.
this cute little, I mean, I call it cute. My wife
I think
hates
it's
the
cool.
design. She
I
thinks
know.
it's awful.
It's controversial. I know a lot of people hate it, but I really like it. I think it's cool.
It's the magic mouse of the road.
It is. I really like the refresh, the facelift one.
The one with the line.
Yeah.
The modern
I
was
think
it light
it looks
bar?
clean. Yeah. It, like, I don't know how else you could change it, but I've seen a lot of Ioniq 6s in the old design. I think the headlights are a little too bubbly.
It got the glow up that I could describe as like the Model S glow up.
Yeah.
Right? The Model S had the guppy
Right.
front fascia,
The big
and then
fish looking.
I think it was about
face.
like 3 or 4 years in or something like that.
Yeah,
They
around
then-
2017.
Yeah,
they
they
went
then
with the
changed
clean-
it to the
Yeah,
was it
the flat face. or
flat
whatever.
face is probably the best
I don't know what to
description of
call
it.
But no, a coworker of mine didn't like the facelift, so we were kind of arguing about it. But
That's all right. Then just get a used one.
yeah, there you go. You got
Get one
cheaper
that's
options.
depreciated in value. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I will say I've watched a lot of owners' reviews, and I see what people meant when I played around with the Ioniq 5. I didn't get a ton of time, but in my limited time available, their software needs a complete overhaul. And it sounds like they are doing that. I don't know if you've seen, but
I hope
there's,
so.
there's some mock-ups Hyundai and Kia are showing of like they're doing a full OS redesign, and it looks very Tesla Rivian-esque. It's very. It
They have to
doesn't
be
look.
competitive.
It doesn't look original, but I'm okay with that.
That it doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need to be exactly.
It needs to be usable and not
Familiar.
aggravating, but also familiar. I
Yeah.
agree.
But yeah, the way it is now, I was like, oh, this would be frustrating. Every
Load.
time you touch the screen, it has
Load.
to beep,
Yeah.
and it's not well laid out. I was just looking for basic data. I was like, I wonder what the efficiency's like, and you have to go through so many.
Well, that was the
menus.
problem with was it the original 5 and I'm blanking on it. The 5N.
Oh yeah,
Everyone was harping on it because like the the fact that you can simulate shifting is an interesting gimmick for it.
Sure.
And a lot of people love that. I mean, I love it too, even though it's doing nothing but actually hurting your efficiency. It doesn't have the best range either.
No.
But it gives you something that EVs don't really give in terms
Yeah.
of that simulated feel. But it's hidden behind so many buttons.
It's too many.
And so to
yeah.
engage, like, I mean, with the 6N, it probably has the same issue of
Probably.
just trying to get to the one pedal drifting mode.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 and
So
waiting
much.
for menus to load and all that.
I could even
aggravating.
see in a boardroom meeting why they thought that was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them think like, "Oh, you're tapping it while driving. You need to know that you actually tapped it."
Well, that's
so-
what a lot of people say is like, I'm using a screen maybe is great and versatile, but if you're driving, you need to know what you're pressing. Where a lot of people
Yeah.
argue with buttons, you just know where it is. It's
Right.
not changing its location.
Yeah.
And so Hyundai thought, well, we make it beep, so the user knows, okay, you've made a selection. You're
Right.
now on to the next
I could
thing.
see how they came to that conclusion, but I still don't think it's the right decision.
Right.
I would rather it just look cleaner and just rip off what the startups have done. I don't think you need
Well,
to
just
reinvent
rip off
the
what
wheel.
Rivian's doing because VW is
Yeah.
paying millions of dollars a year to.
Oh, and so much of everything else Hyundai and Kia have done is great. Like,
Mhm.
they nailed that. It's the higher voltage architecture. They've got great charge curves. The designs are cool.
To be fair, not the best on the Tesla network because
No, unless it's the
Of-
EV6, they got the proper port placement.
well,
Say
proper
that 3
port
times.
placement, but I'm saying charging curves in general.
Oh yeah,
Because it is a fact of the matter that when they switched over the Ioniq 5 from CCS to NAX, the charging curve did get a hit.
right.
But
Well, it's with V3s specifically. I think you mean
Gotcha.
right because they max at like 120 kilowatt instead of the 220 that they could do.
mm-hmm.
But interesting test Jordan did from out of spec was they plugged in a Model Y and an Ioniq 5 at a V3 supercharger at the same. They were both at 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Even though yes, the Y got the 250 kilowatt for a few seconds, they both hit 80% at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, okay, you can use the superchargers with the Ioniq, but just don't do the like 5-minute charges.
Mm-hmm.
Do the deep charge. Get to 80, and then it's about the same amount of time as a Tesla would charge.
It's almost like what that channel found when they were comparing trucks going cross country.
Yeah.
Was I think the F-150 didn't really do too well, but
No.
was it the Silverado?
Silverado 1.
It did great, even though that it's got a big battery and it takes a while to fill up. Its charging curve was phenomenal for what it needed to do for a quote-unquote cannonball type
Right.
run.
And the funny thing was that the Cybertruck was a close second, but they were stopping like constantly.
Mhm.
They would unplug at 30%.
Oh, geez.
Because that's where they got most of their speed. They would,
Yeah.
So their name of the game in that road trip was charge until you have enough range to get to the next charger,
Oh,
even if that meant 30% or 35%, because that's when it charged the quickest.
Mhm.
Is right when you plugged in, and then after 5 minutes it would taper down and be like, okay, we're losing. Whereas
That's
the
something that
Silverado
I've-
could do those long stretches.
right. That's something that I found with my experience after 5 years with the Y.
Uh-huh.
Is it's a fact of the matter with EVs, you're going to have to stop a little bit more and charge, and you're going to have to sit
Usually.
there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you can minimize the amount of stops, even if they're long stops, it's a lot more stomachable
Yeah, I think
than
so.
having to stop like 3 or 4 times because it makes you feel like it's got no range
Yeah.
and that you're just having to keep on stopping. And I would like, even if it's the same amount of duration in the trip
Sure.
between having to stop multiple times to get to your destination versus stopping maybe once or twice to
You'd
get to
rather
your
have
destination,
fewer stops.
I'd rather have fewer stops.
Yeah, that's fair. And
Because-
that comes up with us too. It's like usually when you need to use the restroom or eat or something, you're like, the car's beeping at me like, hey, you have enough range to continue. And we're like, we'll wait. We'll
Yeah.
just let it charge up a bit more.
No, there's been many times that we've gone to Tahoe and that stop-in was at the Roseville area or something
Mhm.
like that. Like, it's great
Mhm.
because it's nearly halfway to Tahoe.
Right.
And so pretty much we just stop there, get some sandwiches in the area, and go to the bathroom as well. It's a great stop.
Yeah.
And we don't have to, like, we're not just sitting there waiting for it to be done.
Yeah.
We're doing other things.
Right.
So you're occupying your time. The stopping
No.
becomes more of the trip,
Yeah.
which some people don't like. They like to go from point A to point B without stopping. And
I've done that.
Same.
In my gas car. I don't find it more enjoyable, but it is a choice.
No, I was mentioning this to some family when I visited them up north,
Yeah.
like in the Oregon area.
Uh-huh.
And I used to be able to go for like 4 or 5 hours without having to use the bathroom. And this was like with my Honda Civic that I owned.
Yeah.
And like, it was great when I was young. Now I'm old.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to stop. I need to
Yeah.
stretch. I need to get some food in me, go to the bathroom. So,
And I found myself much more exhausted at the destination
interesting.
when I didn't stop. Like my drive to my parents' place, it was like 12 hours of driving, and we stopped once for 10 minutes over the course of 12 hours. And it was like, yeah, we made good time, but I was
It drains it.
dead. I was like, ugh. And even though the EV road trip takes longer, it's far more enjoyable to me.
It becomes more of an adventure.
Yeah. You can explore a little bit at your stops. And
Yeah. Or, I mean, even if you're not exploring, you're just sitting around looking around.
yeah.
Like, you're not...
I don't feel as rushed as a gas pump. A gas pump is like, we got, 4 minutes for it to fill up, and then we got to, maybe park and get something, but still, you got to move the car, and you got to...
Yeah, I had to fill up the truck the other day, and it's got a big gas tank as well, so it's just cleaning the windows. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice having, like, the convenience of, like, being able to clean the windows, where at, like, EV chargers, you don't really have that unless you have a spray bottle. And
That's true.
a
couple of them I found have the wipe.
The little wiper blade and
with
all that. Oh, that's nice.
I think Kettleman City had some, and I'm trying to remember.
Kettleman City would have them.
There was one in Anderson, I think, that we went to. It was pretty big. That's one thing. I have my issues with Tesla, but they know how to build a big station. They just opened one.
I was gonna say they've either built
They
or
set a
opened
record.
the most recent one.
Yeah,
in,
Lost Hills, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's like 160 stalls.
That whole area between Lost Hills and past Kettleman, I forget.
It's nuts.
Was it Highland Ranch or something like that? I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
Was it like... There's like, I think 300 or 400 stalls combined
They're massive.
in, was it like maybe a 40-mile stretch or something like
And
that?
I think there's 10 or 12 that are trailer friendly,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
No, there's one up in, what is it? Not Dublin, but...
Harris Ranch has a big one.
No, so it's along I-5. I forget the location. But they
I know
just...
almost all of them. I've
Yeah.
done that drive so many times.
No, but they've expanded it
Yeah.
from like 8 stalls right next to a Burger King. If you guys know where that is.
Narrows it down.
Yeah, some Burger King on I-5 or wherever. But they expanded from 8 stalls of like the V2s
Yeah, yeah.
to like a solar covered...
That sounds like the Harris Ranch one.
It's not the Harris Ranch one.
Okay.
Because I know I've been to the Harris Ranch one before when they were building it out.
Because it
They
has
didn't open-
solar and it has
Yeah,
the V2s
I think
in
that's
the
the
back.
new, like, what they're doing on I-5, at least in California,
Yeah.
is just, like, big solar covering with, like, I don't know, about 10, I think, trailer-friendly chargers.
Yeah.
Maybe maximum or whatever.
The
And
big
then
ones.
a whole ton of V4s everywhere.
That's great.
And, yeah, when I was there, there was a Cybertruck right next to a Rivian, right next to a couple Model 3s, and I think I was the only Model
That's
Y,
cool when you
surprisingly.
see them all.
It's funny
charging
seeing,
together.
yeah,
Yeah.
a Cybertruck next to a Rivian and
Yeah.
a V4 supercharger.
There were a lot of lightnings on my last road trip up north. So, several times where there was a stall open and the Lightning couldn't charge because it was only one stall and his port is in the wrong place. I was like, I'm literally witnessing that scenario we talked about. It was like,
no, I've had that many times at the
Can't reach it.
supercharger nearby my work where it's an Equinox
yep.
or an F-150 that goes in and the port's on the wrong, or the quote-unquote wrong side. It's the non-optimal side, I think is maybe a more fair point to put.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully the V4s alleviate
Yeah, the
that,
thing is,
but-
like, that's now the new standard is the V4 or whatever,
Yeah.
but, like, you can't, like, in many places here, they're not going to switch up the V2s and V3s to a V4. It doesn't make sense financially.
Well, the V2s don't even work with non-Teslas.
No, but even still.
They'll still try, though, I've discovered. There's a V2
people.
near my town that I've had to explain to, I think, 3 different EV people that show up with their adapter. There was an e-tron and there was a Rivian, and I was like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. And I have to come up to them and be like, hey, I'm not trying to scare you, but this is a V2. It doesn't charge anything that's not a Tesla.
Yeah.
They were like, what? I'm pretty sure they get the adapter and just go on Google Maps and plug in supercharger.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, oh, there's one. I can charge there, right? And it's like, no.
I watched a guy with his Rivian and an adapter that he brought
Yeah.
go to a V4, which already has an adapter built in or Magic Dock. And
They're kind of finicky. I might use an adapter.
yeah, to be fair, but he was having a tough time. And,
Yeah.
and he was also taking up an extra stall and all
Even
that.
though the cable was long enough.
Yeah, he was still
He's
still taking up an extra stall because he was taking the adjacent one. Or
Hopefully,
whatever.
if it got super busy, someone would explain that. To
Yeah,
him.
thankfully it wasn't too busy at the time, but he was having a tough time. So
I
I think
bet,
there
yeah.
needs to be a little bit more education on the legacy, or I guess
For
non-Tesla front for those that are using
Yeah,
superchargers.
it's an adjustment for sure.
Yeah. Or I
How do-
mean, it's a learning curve as well.
Yeah. How do you feel about the EV industry since our last show? Was there big
That's something that.
headlining things you wanted to
What's
cover?
funny is me and Randy had that same conversation
Yeah.
on his
The Nexus.
his Nexus podcast / channel or wherever, and he posed the question to me of like, do you feel like we're growing as an industry for EVs or are we stifling and all that? And I think my answer is still the same, is that I still think we're growing.
Yeah.
I still think there's a lot of options out there for people.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to look at what you kind of want or what fits your lifestyle, or just go put your butt in the seat and try it out.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of negativity surrounding the tax credit going away and the, oil subsidies not going away and all that. But
Right.
I do still think if I was in the market for an EV, it's honestly never been better. There's more options than there's ever been, and there's cheaper, good options than there's ever been.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people trading in their threes for something else because of geopolitical reasons or whatever,
Sure.
and that's all right because then that's a three.
people love their Equinoxes, and
Oh my gosh, there's so many on the road these
they're
days.
selling really well.
And the EV9s, I see a bunch of them too. Those toaster boxes are everywhere.
Yep,
Like-
very popular.
People like their big SUVs.
And if you don't care about what brand it is, then you can get Model 3s now for very cheap.
Yeah, and if you do care, Equinoxes or I think Ioniq 5s are not
The
terrible.
leases have gotten extremely
The Honda
Prologue.
Prologue. I'm seeing a bunch of
They're
those as
everywhere.
well.
I don't really get it, but I think they're cheap leases is what it is.
The lease is dirt cheap.
I think
that-
I got
that's-
an ad recently that ID4s you can lease for $130.
Yep, they've brought it down as well.
That's amazing. Those are great cars too. They're not bad at all.
I still haven't driven one.
They're fun. You should try one just for the turning circle. It blew my mind.
Yeah, I was telling Randy,
I
I
could not
still
believe it.
I still haven't gone into an EX30 Volvo. I've been meaning
Oh
to.
yeah.
There's a whole bunch here, and there's actually one of my favorite color, which is because I like these weird colors.
They have a bright yellow one.
They have a bright. I forget what. I think it's like moss yellow is what they call it.
I like the EX30 a lot. I looked into it a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're having a lot of trouble with the EX90 with software on the big vertical screen.
Did you see the LiDAR on those things?
Oh, the little hat
They
looking
were
thing.
they were frying smartphone cameras.
Oh my gosh!
Like not even that far away. If
Like
you
in the
point-
car or someone else's.
If you're filming an EX90 with the LiDAR sensor on, and you point the lens at the LiDAR, and you're like pretty close to the car, you don't have to like hold the phone right over the sensor, but like just imagine if you were on the sidewalk in an EX90 kind of parallel parked and you were filming, it would leave burn-in marks on the camera.
Wow.
I was like, I mean, I'm sure it's safe, but that's a
Volvo's
little
a safe
concerning.
brand, but yeah.
Safe for the driver.
Oh, they have no clue what's going on.
It's a little interesting to me that there's a sensor that can do that, and that's beaming into people.
Yeah. The human body is a very resilient
It's
thing.
terrible. I just didn't know you could do that to a smartphone lens like that, just with LiDAR.
The more you know and learn.
I didn't realize, but
Yeah, and then the EX30, I think, is just having trouble with tariffs. 'Cause it's not built.
It is not built.
It's
here,
not built
that's
in the
true.
United States. I don't think it's even assembled in the United States.
I
either.
remember feeling I spec'd one out a while ago, and I remember thinking this is a really cool. I like the design. The interior is really nice. I like how small it is. As a fan of, I don't know if you knew that. I like small cars.
You're telling me you like things like efficiency?
Oh yeah, maybe that's the word, efficiency. But I spec'd it out, and I just remember thinking this is way too much for what it
Well,
is.
Randy came to the same conclusion. That was his whole beef, I think, last year.
But if it was in Europe, I'm sure it'd be way cheaper and probably
Oh, I'm sure.
a lot more
I
compelling.
believe it's
but
built in China, and
I could tell it was not on them. I was like, this has clearly been tariffed.
No, they were aiming for I think 35 or something like that, and
That would be
jumped up
amazing.
to like I think 42 or
35 would be perfect.
yeah.
Probably even 40 would be good.
It's a great little car. It's
Yeah.
just paying 42 or something like that, or 47.
I think even the basic ones were like 50. And I was like,
Probably after taxes and all that. Yeah,
that's a bit much, but
for a
No.
very compact car that you're not really in the market for right now.
yeah. No, the design, they did a great job though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
was
why
good
I'm a
call.
big fan of is the design and also the quirkiness of the design choices that they had,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
something that follows their ethos of safety but also modern looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also their product line as well. They didn't deviate too far. It wasn't kind of like the ugly C30 stepchild that they had a while back. That had like a weird hexagonal back rear window or whatever.
Right.
Like
right.
it just, you look at that compared to like the old V70s and 60s or the
Mhm.
940s or whatever. And it's like, it doesn't really look like those old wagons. And you look at like the XC 40s and 50s, was it XC40s, 60s, and
There's a lot of
whatevers.
those. Yeah.
And like, it doesn't look like those either. It was the weird, ugly stepchild.
It was weird.
Like the EX30 fits perfectly well in their design
It's
space.
clean. It's very
Yeah.
clean look. Yeah. I agree. And I'm glad they did yellow, even though those do not sell very well. It's a
No,
It
we were
sticks
talking
out.
about off camera how
Yeah.
it's disappointing that Rivian's gotten rid of a lot of those options.
Red Canyon was my favorite. It hurt.
Cappuccillo was mine.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but
Oh
now
no, they killed that off.
They've really nuked them, but
They'll come back probably with the R2. It's
probably
just
they're in a special time right now where they've really got to focus on R2.
cut costs while also developing a new product.
And I think they're trying to keep R1 average selling price high.
Mm-hmm.
So they also have to keep the manufacturing complexity low.
Right.
So a lot of people, I think, were very critical of the quad revival.
Well, they're expecting the world out of it, right?
Right. Everyone had these super high, and it is expensive, so they have a right, I guess,
Yeah.
to be critical. But sometimes it frustrates me when people don't look at the state of the company as a factor as to why they do what they do. Because I'm like, that
Maybe
that
so.
explains a lot, though.
It gives context. I think.
Exactly. It's a context.
I wouldn't say
decision.
it's an excuse, but it is context for
Right.
where they're at.
It's easy to say, I'm the customer. I'm paying 120 grand.
You
I
can
should
get yourself a Cadillac Escalade IQ with that money.
There you go. Buy one of those, I guess. But I just mean, like, if you knew the state that Rivian was in and you acknowledged their financial situation, the quad makes perfect sense.
Yes.
It's not a surprise at all. But then people review it and they're like, oh, it's not that different, or they should have added a million other things and features and update this and that. And I'm like, I mean, I'm sure they wanted to.
Mhm.
It's not like they don't know how.
They brought skid turn.
That was funny.
Tank turn is back, but as a skid turn or
With the
whatever.
scroll wheels. I thought that was cool. I also just think they should have tank turn on those original quads.
Yeah.
Just say use responsibly. I don't get the whole like, well, it could tear up the trail. And I'm like, yeah, anyone
Meanwhile, the Mercedes, was it the G
G-Wagon.
or whatever, is just like doing
like,
circles
you don't-
everywhere.
you don't like protect the trails with software. Like if a driver wants to screw up a trail, he can do it. It doesn't matter if he has tank turn or not.
Nah, I think Rivian saw it as an opportunity to not destroy the environment because they're very much an adventurous, family-friendly brand.
Until skid turn.
Until
And then
skid
they're like,
turn come.
whatever.
Is it only a quad motor?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's their excuse then.
But there's quad motors out there, the originals.
The original quads. Yeah.
So I'm like, you should give them kick turn or
Whatever
tank
it
turn
is.
or whatever, and just as a thank you for buying such an early Rivian, because they kind of getting forgotten with Driver Plus and
That's
everything.
what happened with the old Model S's and X's.
Sorry, yeah.
You've got the old MCU one or whatever,
hmm
whatever. At least they don't get Grok.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, thank God. I haven't got that update yet, and I'm not particularly
Well, I think you only
looking
have
forward to it.
The 2021 doesn't have the AMD chip, does it?
No, my 3 that does.
The
though.
3
So
potentially
the
will
3
get
could
Grok.
get Grok at one of these days, but it hasn't yet. Just funny because they've been advertising it for like weeks. They're like, Grok AI now available.
Do you think the anime character will show up on the main
Oh
screen?
God, I hope not. No, thank you.
At least from what I saw, it's mainly just like a little widget that
It's
appears.
a little glow, but it doesn't even do the vehicle commands. It can't make your car do anything. So it's literally
mainly...
just to ask it random life universe questions.
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't need that. No, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even use the voice commands, honestly, that much. I don't find them very helpful.
I only use it for when I need to text my wife.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then it's
That's
somewhat
fair.
useful, but the issue is sometimes it gets the name wrong.
Yeah,
And there's been a couple times where I'm like, oh, call my wife.
right.
And then for some reason, it's like, okay, you're going to send a message to this person. And I'm like, that's not my wife.
I know. This is exactly what I've had with voice command. And it's like so unpredictable that I just don't use it because I don't trust it. I'm
Well,
like,
it was going to send a message to someone I haven't talked to. They're in my contacts. I haven't talked to them
Right.
since like high school.
yeah, just ruined. To me, that one bad experience means like, okay, I'm not even going to use this for probably months.
I
now.
still, yeah. I mean, for me, I'm still willing to try it again.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm now more careful.
Right.
Unfortunately, I now divert my view from the road to
Yeah.
reconfirm it is my wife's name on the bottom,
Yeah.
and it's saying, what would you like to send to your
Uh-huh.
wife or whatever? And then I'm like, okay, good. I can say, hey, you want me to pick up anything on the
is
way home or whatever.
Literally easier for me to just talk to my phone's voice assistant instead of the car's.
Yeah, so I drove the truck to work a while
Uh-huh.
back, and I've got a little car tablet in it. It's called a car tablet.
Oh, nice.
From this one company that makes them in China or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
it's a good car tablet. It's got a little camera
Oh.
on the backside, so it acts like a dash cam.
Huh. Okay.
And it has a little micro SD card in it, so it actually
That's handy.
works kind of like a dash cam, and I think
Yeah.
it refreshes the video every 3 or 4 minutes. So it's always recording, but it's
Mhm.
like low res quality, so
Yeah.
it doesn't fill up the SD card quickly. But what's also nice is it comes with a accessory camera.
Oh.
And so it's got a really long wire, and so I've wired it down underneath the vehicle, and then
Nice.
I wanted to wire it on the outside,
Yeah.
but that was going to be a little bit too complicated,
Sure.
and weatherproofing and all that. So I just kind of stuck it onto the back window of the truck
Oh,
on the
okay.
inside or whatever, and it works.
That's cool.
Um,
So does that connect to voice command somehow?
so, anyways, it has CarPlay, Android
Nice.
Auto, and all that.
You
That's
like
why I brought
CarPlay?
it. It's okay. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to get into is at some point the Apple Assistant appeared for some reason. I think it was
Yeah.
because I got a message.
Right.
And so it said, here's the message, do you want to reply?
Yeah.
And I was listening to music through
Uh-huh.
Spotify or whatever through the tablet.
Right.
And so it interrupted the music, said,
Uh-huh.
hey, here's a message, do you want to reply? And I said no.
Yeah.
And then it just kept the music off.
Huh.
It didn't resume the music. I'm like, that's annoying.
Weird.
And that's been, I mean, otherwise it's been like fine
Okay.
as like a pseudo solution for having CarPlay in the car because
Yeah.
it's not a smart truck.
No.
We
no.
bought this truck with like no technology packages in it
Right.
because we didn't want technology packages. in
Yeah.
it.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it, and that's what I love about it. Is like it's even got an old like digital display where it's got like either the pixels on or the pixels off, like almost like a e-ink display
Oh, right.
almost.
Yeah. I know. what
But
you mean.
like old early 2000s
Yeah.
like display, and we love it because
Right.
it's not like that software is gonna get
it's not gonna change.
aged and all that because
No.
it's that old analog like software pretty much.
It has to work. Yeah.
So having the tablet in there it's a strapped on solution,
yeah.
but it works for everything that we need it for,
Good.
and it's a great secondary rear camera for if we're towing something or whatever.
Yeah.
But otherwise, my experience with CarPlay and it has been like it's all right.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it is a third-party product. It's not built into the vehicle.
Sure.
It's plugged in via aux cord as well, and also cigarette lighter for power. So
Oh, okay.
it's not like it's not getting enough power for it to like do anything amazing, and also it's plugged in through aux cord, so it's not amazing audio and amazing software experience. But it's a good. I would say overall, I'm a satisfied customer.
Good.
But
Okay.
it's not the most amazing CarPlay experience that everyone touts with
Yeah.
their built-in CarPlay cars, which is
Yeah.
okay.
I think most would say it's better than the nothing or poor implementation a lot of car companies
What we
have.
did before is we just put our phone on the shelf.
Yeah.
And
Honestly,
that
works pretty well.
worked, but it was annoying because then if we ever wanted to do anything, we'd have to grab the phone.
Exactly.
Where now it's a little tablet where you can actually tap on it and you can get to different menus because it acts like a CarPlay
Good
interface.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's all right. I don't know. Like, that's been my experience. You said that you've had a couple experiences with CarPlay and you're intrigued
Not
by it, but
an extended period. But yeah, there's aspects of it that I really like.
Is that maybe something you're looking for in your next vehicle?
I would like to try one. Yeah, I would like to try one for more extended period because I can tell there's definitely pros and cons to it, but I don't know all of them until I probably do a road trip with it.
I asked that mainly because you've surprised me with your sudden interest in the Mach-E. Where I remember in early days of this podcast, we were ripping into that thing because of the screen dial.
I still don't like the dial, but it's more. There's a lot I like about the Mach-E. The exterior design is gorgeous, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have called it a Mustang. I still don't think it should be called. I still don't call it a Mustang, but I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
When I see them on the road pretty regularly, I'm just like, man, there's a lot of crossover designs out there, and I think they just found a way to spice it up a bit. It looks kind of sporty or edgy.
Well, yeah, because they made the back wedge taper black.
Yeah.
And so
I like that.
The side view looks more like a Mustang. Very sloped.
Right.
Even though it actually is slightly squared off a bit more than it actually appears.
I like the door buttons. I wish more companies would do that.
The little wings and all that.
Yeah, just keep it simple. I
honestly, do wonder how hot they get, because that's something you highlighted when your Y was getting repaired and you're driving a Cybertruck, is that the Cybertruck would actually hurt.
It was the steel, though.
Yeah.
It was not the button.
Okay.
The glass or the plastic, I think it's plastic, but whatever the door button material is, does not get as hot as that steel when it's been sitting in the sun for a while.
Okay.
To be fair, we live in a super hot climate, so maybe we experience heat, most don't. But when I was getting into the truck, it straight up was like, ow. And I have to grab that to open it, you know. You push the button and then you grab the little, and it was like, geez.
To give the Mach-E the benefit of the doubt, the door handle on it, which is like a little wing
it has
or whatever.
A wing. Yeah, that's plastic.
That does act more like a radiator,
yeah.
right? If you think about radiator blades or heat sinks, where it's like just trying to expel energy as much as possible. It doesn't
soak it up.
It's in a blade-like geometry.
And even the door panels are just normal painted aluminum, which does not get as hot as that steel did on the truck. But
so anyways, you've expressed your interest in a Mach-E.
There's a few things that are unique about it. The 2025 Mach-E's actually got cheaper.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if many people noticed, but
no one's talked about it.
No, yeah, it didn't get much attention, but they lowered the price on the base models a bit, which was cool. So I think, assuming you find a good dealer, of course, you're playing the dealer game.
I think they're still doing the, the dealer employee
discount.
Yeah,
I think they were. I was looking at a few.
But like employee discount for people.
Yeah, you don't have to be an employee, and they still give you that. But no, I was looking at some that were dipping below 40, and the Select series has LFP batteries, which I'm a fan of. Pretty good efficiency. They switched to heat pumps, I think, in 24 or 23, around there.
Yeah.
I could be wrong slightly, but I was looking up what real world efficiency is, and they're around 3.5, which I was like, that's pretty. That's about what our Y's getting.
Yeah.
Occasionally you get 4 if you're driving slower. But I was like, okay, it's a crossover, so it's not going to get sedan efficiency.
No, but you shouldn't expect that.
No, and it's a hatchback, which my wife likes, LFP battery, which I like, and it's one of the very few EVs that has the EV route planning integration with CarPlay.
Okay.
Which very few support that, and I was like, I've always been curious about. I watched
a couple
other
options
reviews
that.
I think the only other one I saw that had it was the Taycan.
Okay, that's a little bit out of your price
I love
range.
the Taycan, but it is out of my price range.
Also,
and a sedan.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you could get the cross touring version of it.
That's true. Those are cool, but also still
a little bit more wagony or whatever.
Still out of the price range, but yeah I don't, and I like again the LFP battery, which I wouldn't have on a Taycan. They do have great charging curves though.
I love the idea of cross-shopping a Mach-E Select with LFP and a Taycan.
So if your main number one priority is EV route planning with CarPlay, obviously the F-150 Lightning also has it because it's Ford.
Okay, yeah.
So, but I don't think I'd want a Lightning. It's just
You're not really looking for a truck.
I've driven.
And if you
one.
are, it's going to be
a much smaller one, super biased. But yeah, no, I've also driven a Lightning before, and it's not my style.
No.
It's just not for me. I get why people buy them. I get why they're popular because it is so familiar.
I think Markiplier bought one.
That doesn't shock me at all. Just like, and they're also apparently very cheap to lease now, which is great. So if you drive F-150s, a lot of people have driven them for decades, and you're just like, I would like an electric one. It's perfect for that. But
sure,
I did not grow up driving F-150s,
no.
so it's not an important thing. But I drove the Mach-E, and I mostly liked it. There's definitely some things with the interior that I would change, but it's been a while. That was 2020, I think, when I drove one.
We both drove it at the same time.
It was?
You drove a red one, I drove a blue one.
Wasn't that the Blazer? Or no, what am I thinking of?
No, so we drove the Blazer, I think, last year.
Oh, jeez.
And then after that, we checked out the 3, and then there's the Cybertruck. There's the new 3, the Ludicrous 3 or whatever.
Yeah, the Mach-E definitely still has some of that legacy auto stench with a little bit more button complexity and the UI not being great. But I don't know. I'd like to give it a shot.
Does it beep every single time you make a selection?
it didn't beep. And also, GM's got some really good options, but I'm not a fan of the just we're going all in on Google OS. Like I would like
having the CarPlay.
I would like the option to use CarPlay. I mean, the Blazer was nice when we checked it out. It wasn't a bad UI, but I like the option. If Apple does, it doesn't happen much, but if Apple does something cool with CarPlay, I would like to be like, oh, I can't wait to try that in my car. And I mean, with my line of work, Apple content is kind of a big deal. So if I had a car that I could actually review the new Apple software on, sure, I can get more content out of it.
This has phone mirroring now.
Yeah. I was trying to think of other things I was comparing. Yeah, the phone mirror. I'm not sure I'm as huge a fan of the regen paddle approach.
The Mach-E uses that?
No, but the Hyundai Kias do, I think. And I don't know if I would want to get used to it. My coworker who owns one says he's not a huge... He said there's a button for one pedal driving.
Uh-huh.
And you have to press it every time you get in.
Oh, that's tough.
It doesn't just stay on. And
it's
I was
not
like,
profile based.
That would annoy me personally. Yes, though. I only want one pedal. But sometimes I think it's easy. We get into Teslas and we immediately know all the problems because we've lived with them for so long.
Right.
And sometimes we look at alternatives and think, oh, those fix those problems. But once we get in them, we'd probably discover, oh, Tesla actually got these things really well.
We're taking a lot of it for granted.
Absolutely. I think with the software especially, just how easy it is to plug in something and go.
Oh, it's so great. I mean, like, to be fair, we're kind of tuned to it.
Yeah, we're very
It was something that my father-in-law, so he was doing a motorcycle tour in California. He was going all the way from north to south and on the coast and all that.
That's cool.
And when he got to our house in the tour, he was trying to get his Garmin all plugged in for the specific route that he was taking in the motorcycle, and he was having trouble with it because he would put in different locations not sequentially, and the Garmin would then be like, okay, so you're going 2 hours north and then you're going an hour and a half south, and then and it wasn't getting the logic of, no, I need to stop here, 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 and here, where for us we know what buttons to press.
It's so simple,
3 and
honestly.
Kind of, yeah.
You just hit edit trip and you can
you have to know. Well, so
once you know it, it's there.
There's quicker ways to do it. So like my mind immediately goes to, or what's nice about the Tesla is if it knows that you have a schedule or like you have a day.
Syncs with the calendar.
Yeah, or if you just have a cadence of like, I go to work Mondays through Fridays.
Yeah.
So it knows to immediately plug in the address when you get in the car.
That's nice.
But then there's many times of like, oh, I need to maybe stop at the supercharger on Tuesdays and Thursdays or wherever. And so then I don't hit edit trip, I hit add stop.
Right.
And that immediately then puts it into the queue between where I started and where I ended. Where if you hit edit trip, it adds on, or the button to add a new location
to the
is
end.
after the
Right.
destination.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of nuance there, and that's why I brought up my
gotta
father-in-law
get
with his
used to it,
Garmin
yeah.
is like, you have to know what the software is trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get into like a Mach E or a
Probably
Equinox,
different.
it's going to be a little bit different if it has that availability to do different stops.
Well, if you watch reviews of just like the basic plug in a faraway destination in any Hyundai or Kia and watch how it almost dies thinking of what it has to do. It's like, I want to go to Vegas or Denver, and you plug it in and it's like, and it's thinking, and it's like, oh, you can't get there on one charge. You will have to charge. Is that okay? And you have to, okay.
No.
And then it's like, it selects a bunch, and then it'll add like a level 2. It's like, oh yeah, stop here for 15 hours. It's like, it'll do these weird things that we don't even think about. Like just on the drive here, we were leaving my work, and then we have the option of search a long route.
Yes.
So we were like, we want a pizza place along this road. So you can just search, and it knows to not route you in the wrong direction.
Go north about 40 minutes
Right.
and then go south.
Which is probably what a lot of the competition does, is when you plug it in. So little things like that, we don't realize how nice we have it.
Right.
But we do notice when build quality isn't great. And
No, or we're just getting tired of the same rigmarole, and or probably a little bit more seriously, hardware starts failing like the battery.
That's frustrating, yeah.
Because then you don't trust it.
Yeah, and it makes me nervous that a lot of people out there seem to have this mindset or are comfortable with the idea of, oh, as long as the battery, like I've seen online a lot of people comfortable with the idea of 120,000 miles, I won't own it at that point. So it's no problem. As long as the warranty is within my ownership period, I'm good. And there's people that are like, I just won't own an EV out of warranty. And my wife and I, we were just like, no, we're not those kinds of people. We're not the ones that are going to, like, we're going to buy another car every 4 years or 5 years or something.
I know some people that buy cars like every 2 months.
If you do that,
And
leasing
it sounds
probably makes more sense.
exhausting.
I couldn't do it. It's not my cup of tea. I'm the kind of guy that's like, I'm going to buy it until it stops moving. And the more I think like that about how we drive our cars so much and we don't want to replace them all the time, that's what makes me want to lean more towards maybe I should prioritize LFP more than I think I should. Like,
I still agree with you. It is the future.
I
Of
think
what
most
EVs should be.
EVs, the long range towing ones, I think will always need.
No, I mean,
a
you
very
see the
dense-
Cadillac IQs or the Escalade IQs,
No,
and
if
the
you're-
Gravities
yeah.
and all that. Like
If
the
your goal
Gravity
is-
kind of technically nails both. I mean,
The
it
Gravity's
doesn't have
amazing.
It doesn't have the LFP, but it's
No, but if you want an EV with 400, 500 miles, yeah, it's gonna be nickel based. I don't think there's gonna be.
we're not
LFP.
there yet in terms of other chemistries.
Although Chevy is making an LFP Silverado that I think goes 350, which might be the highest range LFP I've ever seen. which is
would you
kinda
consider
cool.
that?
No, because the rest of it.
It has a midgate.
It does. I think the work truck doesn't. But did you see Aging Wheels bought a Silverado?
Yes.
His review basically convinced me. I was like, well, that battery's really cool and the range is great, but the rest of it is
It's a
not
lot
great.
of truck.
It's a lot of
with
truck.
A lot of failure points.
And
if
GM
you're
is not
careful.
known for their wonderful interiors. A friend of mine actually just bought, not the work truck, what's it called? The RST
Yes.
Silverado. He loves it. Yeah,
Sure.
he's been taking it on these road trips, and he uses the mid-gate and puts his mattress.
I'm a big
back
fan
there.
of the GMC version.
Yeah,
The Sierra
I've seen a lot
Denali
of
or
those.
whatever.
Again, probably too big for me in my liking. I don't need all
Yeah.
that space, but still, I think GM's probably doing it right.
The size I'm looking between is something like, I mean, a Tello would be great, but too small for my wife. So something
Sure.
between a Rivian and I guess what we have right now with like an F-150 sized vehicle.
That's Scout, right? You're the big Scout fan.
Scout fits right in there.
I'm glad you remember, because some people I feel like kind of forget about Scout because so much has happened since the unveiling.
Well, I think that's what I like about them is they're not trying to build everything up right now, being like, you should buy our truck right now. I mean, they do have ads on like Instagram and other places, but it's not like
No, they're all in on the
you don't
manufacturing
see them
right
being
now.
like, we're building this right now. We're going to do
Yeah.
it right now. It's like, no, we're
They're
building the
taking their
factory. We're
time.
going to celebrate. Like you see, if you're on LinkedIn and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
see
yeah.
their milestones because they're really proud of it, which
Sure.
it's great. It means that they're getting closer and closer, but it's a lot of money they're sinking into it.
It's a very expensive project. I hope they do well. I hope
They're
there's
funded
a
by
big enough
VW,
market.
just like Rivian.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm actually questioning
Company's
how
funneling all this money.
much money VW has at this point because they're funneling millions into
Yeah.
Scout and Rivian.
Oh, they're betting big on it for sure. I'm very curious what the market size is for, what do you call it, the e-rev market of like pretty big battery, but still an integrated gas generator. That's not me. I'm not a gas guy. That's not a selling
Sure.
point. But a lot of people, I'm sure it is.
So that was the thing that struck me as this is why maybe a little bit more bullish with them
yeah.
or bearish.
No, bull is good.
Okay.
Bear's bad.
I don't use the terms too much.
That's all right.
But I'm very bullish
They're
of them
stupid.
because they wanted to go all EV.
Yeah.
Like, they've made this very vocal in a lot of their interviews is
Yeah.
we wanted to go all EV, but then our investors or people internally were like,
Right.
well, we kind of want like
A
a backup
Right.
gas generator or whatever. Is that something you can maybe include? And they got enough of those requests that they're like, okay, let's see what happens if we offer that, or like,
Yeah.
we consider that. Let's do some of the back of the napkin math on like what we could get out of that.
That's kind of their differentiator, I'd say.
And
That
then
kind
they-
of separates them the most.
Right, and then they give it the legacy naming of the International Harvester
Bring back
package
Scout.
and all that.
Yeah.
With Scout, and then
It makes more sense, I think, being a legacy brand.
Right.
To lean into the fuel.
But then
as
they
an
offered it,
alternative.
and then some reports have said that it's like over 80% of their
Yeah.
reservations
Right.
have that package included,
That doesn't surprise me.
which only tells me that. I mean, it makes sense because hybrids are a big thing these days. People love hybrids.
Well, and I just
they
think
don't want to
what-
go all in on
what they're
EVs.
pitching, especially with that Harvester, that's what the range extender's called. right?
Yes, like with the Harvester package. I
I
believe.
feel like there's nothing really on the market that can rival that. I mean, maybe
The Ram Charger is a close.
that's the next
I mean, it's a
closest, but
competitor.
it's also delayed and not out and everything.
It's going to come around the same time as them.
Yeah,
Actually, I think
probably.
it comes out still before it
It might, yeah. I'm
because
not
it's
sure.
supposed to come
I
out in
haven't followed it too
2026.
closely,
It's supposed to
but-
come out in 2024, by the way.
Oh right, I saw it got delayed, but I just mean if you wanted an all electric, biggish truck, biggest SUV, you kind of already have options for that.
Yeah.
I don't see why you would wait for a Scout if you're looking for an all electric solution. But if you're waiting for a e-rev,
Mm-hmm.
they're perfect. Like they've got really good software. It looks like they're putting a lot of time and emphasis.
It's the
on-
Rivian.
It's the zonal
packaging.
electronics. So I'm like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that most of the people doing pre-orders are the ones that are like, I can't get a range extender on my Rivian. Rivian's made it very clear they don't want to do a gas range extender, which, okay, that's their choice. That's
Yeah.
fine. So it's just, yeah, having the options. You know, I can tell you from running the Tello social media that it comes up in the comments a lot.
Yeah.
People are like, why can't I put it in a range extender? We were at Open Sauce and there were people straight up asking us there, like, have you thought about a way for me to plug in a range extender? And it was like, well, for us and our goal, it was all about how small of a footprint can we be in,
Mm-hmm.
and just a range extender that's gas powered did not fit in that equation. It was like, there's not a good place to put it that wouldn't severely sacrifice on storage.
It's a very space efficient vehicle.
Yeah.
So putting in an engine in which you then have to choose an engine. You're not going to want to build an engine. You're going to
No.
have to find
No.
an engine from a current
it would be off the
manufacturer.
shelf and it would be slow. It would not be a good accelerating engine.
No.
And there's honestly, it would eat into storage.
Yep.
And because everything's packed so tight, you would feel it, you would hear it. So we were just like, you know, a lot of people at Tello still drive gas cars.
Yeah.
Very few actually drive electric right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not like gas car haters. Like,
No.
a lot of them are still totally happy with their combustion engines, but it was just for the intended purpose of this market. It doesn't really make sense for us.
I
But
want to touch on Open Sauce later just to get your
Sure.
opinion on that whole event.
Yeah.
Since I don't think you've really talked about it too much online.
no, I guess
Or
not.
even for those that listen to this podcast, it's
Yeah.
like, what the heck is an Open Sauce?
Yeah.
But to continue more on the
It was fun, yeah.
the E-Rev type of stuff,
Sure.
it is something that has its pros and cons. Like,
It's been done in smaller formats like the Volt in the past, but
I think the i3 also was
Yeah.
a version of it as
Right.
well. And what's nice about current hybrids, which I believe are parallel hybrids or whatever, or serial, I forget.
plug-in.
Yeah, the plug-in
Yeah.
ones, like what's nice is it's mainly driven by the engine, and then
Correct.
the battery is more of the assist.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
which, in like the Volt or the i3 or whatever, like it plays a little bit more of a significant role where you get like
Right.
40 to 50 to whatever miles of range.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like the concern about gas getting old in it
Right.
is
Sure.
there, but like because it's primarily driven by the engine and you're more likely to forget about charging it up,
Right.
you're going to use that gas eventually.
Yeah.
Where with
It's easy to kind of remind people in the software and stuff.
right, where with what Ram and Scout are planning with these EREV versions, where it's a series hybrid or whatever it is, you actually have a higher likelihood of having a lot more stale gas sitting in there,
That's true. Pretty
It-
high likelihood.
and or forgetting to charge it up, and you now have a power issue. Because if you're going up a hill and you run out of battery, you're now relying on a underpowered engine
Yeah, how
to
quickly
get you up.
can that engine charge the battery? You know, that's a good
Exactly. Well,
question.
not just that, or just power output is
Right.
the problem,
Yeah.
because the combined of the end or the if you're having a combination of engine plus battery, it's going to give you the horsepower necessary to
Yeah.
tackle a huge mountain or off road or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you lose that assist from the battery because you've run out of power in it, in which then the engine's going to have to do double duty of powering it up
Yeah,
while also trying to give power to the vehicle, it's going to have some issues.
sure.
So that's something I'm actually really curious about.
I'm curious about maintenance too. Like, does that need oil changes, or is this?
So what I like
reliable
about it
enough
is
engine?
they've gotten rid of the transmissions, I think, in both those vehicles, so you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that maintenance.
Okay.
And from my understanding as an engineer,
Uh-huh.
I'm not an automotive engineer,
Yeah.
but I would think if it's running at a constant rate,
Very consistent.
very consistent,
Yeah,
you're not
RPM.
revving it up or down like you would with a regular internal combustion
Right.
engine. That's probably really good for the engine
True. That's a good point.
because it doesn't
Yeah.
have to go really high on
Uh-huh.
revving it up to high levels of
Right.
usage or power.
Yeah.
It's probably going to last a while.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good.
That's
point.
at least my hopes, or at least my understanding of it
I would think so.
from my current standpoint. I mean, the technology exists. It's just we're not seeing it out in the wild yet.
Yeah. Obviously,
In a large
real world could be different.
for big vehicles, I guess, is what I'm trying to focus on. We've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
it maybe in the i3,
Right.
if I'm understanding the technology correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only so many i3s made. They didn't do crazy big stuff like off-roading and towing
no.
or
Sure.
things that trucks do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's where I'm very intrigued with what Ram Charger and the Terra or the Traveler
Right. Yeah. I am too.
will have to
I'm
meet
curious.
with. And also what engine they'll choose in the Scout.
Yeah.
Because with the
I
Ram
don't
Charger,
know.
they made it very vocal. They're using the engine that's in my Ram.
Right. Yeah.
The,
Got a lot of.
not the Hurricane
Experience
motor,
with it.
but the Pentastar.
They know it well.
The Pentastar V6 is a really good engine from
Yeah.
my own experience.
Uh-huh.
So with that, I know that the Ram Charger is probably in good hands.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to have an overpowered V6 in it.
Probably.
It's going to... I think that gives them the buffer for if you run out of battery power.
Yeah.
The Pentastar is going to be good enough
Mm-hmm.
because I towed a trailer with mine and it was good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, these things are going to be towing bigger things. But
Sure.
with the
Sure.
Scout, I don't know what engine they're choosing. Is it going to be a Porsche
Yeah. I
version
really
of
don't
it?
know.
Is it
Not sure.
is it going to be some VW engine that I'm just
Probably.
not privy to?
Maybe.
Like,
VW
I don't know.
makes
So
sense.
that's where some of the unknowns are with
Yeah.
that product.
I also have some questions. We haven't touched on them yet, but I have a little bit of a concern with Slate too, because
Okay.
having I believe they said in the interview that the Harvester version has a 150-mile range battery pack.
Slate versus Scout.
Yeah, Slate also has a 150-mile range on the base model
Okay.
battery pack. And my concern is like, yeah, for the argument is for around town and you're not road tripping, that's enough. But my concern is when the vehicle's not as energy efficient per mile, you're basically going to be running up cycles on that battery a lot quicker
Yes.
than you would if you had a 250 or 300 mile range crossover like most EVs are now. So let's say you drive 40 or 50 miles a day on average, extrapolated over the year, factor in road trips, maybe it's 60 or whatever. So 60 miles of range a day eating into a 300 mile range is very different from a 60 miles a day eating into 150.
Right.
So it's like if that's a smaller battery that's running up cycles faster, that might wear it out quicker and might need to be replaced.
I wonder if
quicker.
they've
I don't know.
entertained LFP.
I hope so.
in the
That would.
Slate.
I feel like that would be a perfect application.
It would
I don't
give
know.
them a range hit, but also I
And
mean,
a weight hit too, but yeah.
they're trying to market it as a work truck.
Right.
So I would think their prerogative would be this thing is supposed to be reliable for hundreds of thousands of miles.
Yeah, we'll see what the warranty is like when it comes out.
Yeah, no one's going to beat the Ram one right now,
Yeah.
but whatever
Yeah.
Slate's version of the warranty is, or at least the usability.
I don't know.
It is a very
Right.
underpowered work truck, but it doesn't need to be an overpowerful truck in the first place. I think
Oh,
that's
you
maybe
mean the Slate you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I think for a lot of people it'll be perfect.
it doesn't need to be this big, capable vehicle.
No.
I think that's something that maybe a lot of people skip over or miss. Is like this is a small. I mean, it's gonna cost the same as like or a little bit more than a Maverick
Pretty
from
close,
Ford,
yeah.
but like it's meant to do round town stuff.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Racking up cycle count in the battery is a big concern.
Yeah, it's at least for longevity that comes up for me a lot. I guess for others maybe not so much because they plan on replacing it after 4 or 5 years, but I don't do that. So I'm like,
It'd be great for fleets, honestly.
Yeah, I could see it.
Tiny
being
little
great.
trucks for like Caltrans or whatever.
They're not going far and they just need 2 seats. That's perfect. And I've been reading comments for years asking for exactly what Slate.
Yeah.
made. There's been so many people have been like, I want the hand crank window. Don't paint it. Just keep it really basic.
2-seater.
Yeah, no
Or a bench
no
seat, at
fancy
least.
screens or anything. And I'm like, yeah, I mean,
I guess we haven't talked about that on the podcast.
no,
It's
this
announced.
Slate came out after the
Yeah.
podcast.
I'm a big fan of what they've done with it.
Me too. No, honestly.
And like I've got speakers that will fit into that little clip-on
The little
add-on thing.
add-on
Or
thing.
I think what the
Yeah.
beauty of it is, if you can understand how they put that clip in or that accessory in,
Yeah.
you could probably just 3D print a version of
Oh,
it.
easily, I'm sure.
Like this might be a
Yeah.
really great maker vehicle by the
Oh,
end
I
of the
think
day.
they're counting on it. Yeah, that's
Like
that's
3D
the whole
print your own
pitch.
accessories, and
Right.
then you don't even need to pay them because that's
Yeah.
where they're gonna make their money, and you can just skirt by and be like, "No, I got a 3D printer at home."
That is something I'm curious about, though. Is like, how much margin do they have on those trucks?
Mm-hmm.
Because the original rumored business pitch was that they had next to no margin on the truck, and the business was going to be powered by the accessories sold, which is interesting.
I think that's still the pitch. It's just the big question mark is the margin. If they have a bunch of margin or no margin,
And how do you force your customers to go first party accessory? Because like you said, if it's a maker vehicle, people are going to want to make their own accessories or buy third party for cheap.
so not that many people are kind of like makers. And like if you're thinking about a work truck, like someone will grab the roof rack that they need for X
Yeah.
or Y reason or
I'm
whatever.
sure.
And that's where Slate can easily be like, okay, the roof rack
Yeah.
costs like $2,000, which
Right.
is like a ridiculous price for a roof rack. But
It's convenient to take delivery with for
Yeah.
big orders.
you know
and
it's going to
stuff.
work with that product.
Yeah. But I just, for the masses, I could easily see a scenario where it's like, I can buy that same rack from some third party
Temu.
for $1,000 or, yeah, Temu would be like
Get the
$50.
$100 version of it.
And
yeah.
it's like, how many people do you need buying those accessories to keep a whole assembly line running?
Right.
That's the big question. But I think they'll make it. I think they've got funding, and
I hope so.
I wish them all the best. I'm glad there's all kinds of mini trucks coming, and
I'm just happy for all. I mean, even though that we touched on it earlier, like it seems like dark days for EVs with the incentives going away, at least in
Yeah.
America.
sometimes it feels like maybe because of all the mistakes Tesla's made lately, it's making
And the
everyone
bleakness
just,
of the political and all
Yeah.
that. But like, there's still creativity out there.
there's a lot of hope for.
We've lost Fiskars
Yeah.
and Bollingers and all that, but like, there's still people with great ideas. Tello, Slate,
Mm-hmm.
Scout. Like, these are all brands that are new and fresh, and they've got
Yeah.
really interesting
Or
design.
Aptera.
It is Aptera as
Very
well.
unique, very
We
different
can't
from
forget about
everybody
Aptera.
else. They're the only solar charged ones, but yeah. No, it's a cool avenue to see these new, because so many EV startups for a while now have just been like, how much luxury can we throw at it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hate to throw them under the bus so much, but it reminds me of Faraday, where it's just like $300,000 SUV.
Faraday
It's
is a
like-
very special case.
and it's like, what are we doing?
When
Like-
you look into Faraday, you realize that this is kind of like the Ferrari, or
right.
maybe is it?
Did you
Ferrari?
see what they unveiled recently?
No.
They came out with some
Faraday.
minivan. Yeah. Some minivan, and they put like a TV on the hood.
On the outside.
Yeah, on the outside. It's just this giant screen. It doesn't even look like it's integrated that
It's
well.
just bolted on.
No, yeah, it looks weird. I'll show you later, but it's
Okay.
just so tech. And I was just like, this is not what the EV industry needs. Is more like, well, let's throw more luxury features on it. So I'm refreshed with Slate
Right.
for being the first EV startup in a while that's just like, how much can we remove, and let's push the boundaries of what we can get away with, and maybe even make some people uncomfortable with like how much we've removed. That's good that they're exploring that.
We also highlighted it with Rivian, where like you
Yeah.
need to take a little bit of the context into it.
Yeah,
And with Slate, there is a lot more context as
Yeah.
well. With like they're trying to achieve this price, and because the incentives are going away, it's going to be a little bit higher. But
yeah,
like,
sure,
think about what they're trying to achieve. Right,
Yeah.
is a very low cost, no frills, no nothing
Right.
work truck that you can do whatever with
yeah,
in the city. It's not supposed to be like the off. I mean, you could probably take it off road.
a little
But
bit.
otherwise,
I'm
like
sure.
the context as well of like they're trying to launch this in a very uncertain time for EVs.
Sure,
So even though like they don't deserve the break because they haven't delivered anything yet, I mean, I haven't really seen one drive around yet,
no,
but they're trying to bring something into reality when the world is saying we don't want that, or at least the United States is saying we actually don't want that right now. We want to
Right.
focus more on this.
yeah,
But I think if they can make it through that initial push of getting it to market,
mm-hmm,
they've got a lot of headroom
yeah,
to push that price
mm-hmm,
and that capability, like push the price down, but also push the capability up.
yeah,
And
yeah,
just like Apple or whoever, they can upcharge a bunch of money on storage, or I mean, Apple does with storage, but like
Yeah.
for Slate with accessories of whatever kind, I guess
or
Apple
the
does the same.
add-ons or whatever.
Yeah, and that's where they can make their money.
yeah,
So the market idea for the product makes total sense.
I
It's
think
just
so.
the timing for it kind of sucks.
yeah. The timings. If it came out a little earlier, that probably would have helped them immensely. But you know,
A lot of things would have been better if they came out
Yeah.
earlier. Maybe.
and worse, they probably wouldn't have had the NACS access if they were launching a few years ago. So then
Yeah.
it would have been a harder 150-mile range can be tight. So I think the biggest difference, because Slate came up a lot at Open Source, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Because people were like, "Is this Slate?" And we had to be like, "No," but we like those guys. We love what they're doing. But other than the fact that the Tello and the Slate are small trucks, that's about when the similarities end. Aside from the small truck thing, they're very different markets, and
Right.
I personally feel there's plenty of room for both. I don't think one has to survive and the other
No.
has to.
And I'm honestly
Like,
hoping that all the other car companies are paying attention.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think
I really
there's-
hope that Ford with their T3 project has kind of canned the idea of maybe it's a
has to be
reimagined
huge,
version
yeah.
of the F-150, or
No.
even if they're thinking something like Ranger size.
I would
want
love
them.
an all-electric Maverick would be sick.
That's where
That
my
would be
mind
cool.
went first. Is they already start with a hybrid on the Maverick.
Right? Yeah.
Just put the extra mile of
Mavericks
putting a
are
battery.
awesome. Yeah. I
Right.
don't know. That knowing Ford, they probably would want to keep as much the same as possible. So
Mhm.
I wonder how high a range they could get with that.
It'd be a more
Form factor,
expensive
but-
Maverick, pretty much.
Probably, but I think a lot of people would buy it though. I think it'd be
Same
popular.
thing with the F-150 Lightning.
Yeah, just Maverick light bar. We're done.
Call it the Maverick Thunder or something. Because you got the F-150 Lightning, the Maverick
Oh
Thunder.
my god, that's great. Sounds like a joke I would make. But you beat me to it. The Maverick Thunder. That's good.
So tell me a little bit more about this open sauce thing.
Yeah,
So like people don't know what the heck open sauce is.
So basically, I didn't either until. So to be clear, Tello was invited to come.
Tello, yeah. Not Telos, but Tello.
No, Tello, the truck company, mini truck company. So it cost us nothing, which was cool.
That's great.
So they were just like, hey, come on down and show your truck off to everybody in attendance. And it was good for us because we want to, every time we show the truck off in person, we get way more interest than just a basic like online view.
Sure.
You get all kinds of negative comments all the time. It looks weird or it's too expensive, yada, yada. That's very normal online. But in person, it's totally different. Everyone's like, what is that?
Lots of enthusiasm.
Way more enthusiasm. The whole 3 days I was there, I talked for 10 hours straight.
Oh, gosh.
Barely had a chance to eat and sit down. Barely used the restroom. It was not good. But I was so passionate and excited by all these new people that had never heard of us. And I would always ask them, like, have you seen us online? A couple said yes, but most of them said, like, no, I've never heard of you guys until
That's
today.
great.
Which is perfect because, you know, a lot of the time they're like, why don't you do our Discord on Tello is like, why don't you do public events so we can come out and look at it? And it's like, we want to do those and we will, but it's not a great opportunity for new people to discover us because if we do the event ourselves, then the only people who are coming to see it are people who already know about it.
It just becomes a meetup.
Yeah, exactly. Meetups are fun, but
oh, sure.
We also want to broaden the audience too.
Well, it's an important time for the company to
Yeah.
broaden the horizons to get everyone
For sure.
who you want to know about the product
Yeah.
to know about it.
And there was also a very high, Open Sauce is a creator-focused and maker-focused event held in San Mateo County.
What's funny is I got ads for it on Instagram, and I was didn't know that Tello was going.
Right.
And I saw some names, and I'm like, oh, I recognize that name and that name.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. And I looked at the ticket price. I'm like, I don't know about
It's a
that.
bit,
and
yeah.
then also at the same time, I was busy
Sure.
that weekend, and also that week was a tough one as well. So
No,
it's
I
like,
got it. I
didn't
got it.
make sense for me to go. And then
Don't blame you.
You
I did
then-
not set the prices, just so everyone's...
no, you guys were a vendor, or not even
We were
vendor,
a sponsor, whatever
sponsor,
you call
whatever
it.
you
We
wanna
didn't
call
pay
it,
to be
yeah.
there, but they called us sponsors.
But anyways, then you let me know, oh yeah, I'll be in town
Yeah.
going to this event or whatever. I'm like, what
Mm-hmm.
event? You're like, oh, Open Sauce. I'm like, why does that sound familiar?
It was random. I had not heard of it before, but it was actually a lot of fun. My wife was there and she went to a bunch of the panels with the YouTubers. But the cool thing is you also get a bunch of media people with large followings
Sure.
to come check out the truck. So we met with some pretty big YouTubers that were like giving us their info and saying we want to make a video with the truck. And so we're still in the early stages of scheduling because we're always like, come to us. And they're always like, come to us. We're trying to
Right.
figure out which trips are worth the trek. But there were some pretty big ones that we were excited about. So it was good networking for media exposure to other channels. And it was good for all the new people who had never seen one before. Because pretty much anytime people see it in person, the response is very positive. Which is why there's not, I'm sorry, Tello fans, there's not a huge focus on bringing the truck to people who already know about it. Because we know you probably like it now, and when you see it in person, you'll like it more.
That's probably the same thing that Aptera finds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they have a whole following of people on the East
Right.
Coast, and they're all the way here on the West Coast. And it's like, come to the East Coast. They're like,
Eh,
we'll do like a California tour.
I hope they get it out there, but yeah. No, I understand. It's a lot of money and it's a lot of time.
Yeah,
Um,
those are employees that have to go out with the product, make sure that it's safe and it's functioning well.
You got to drive it or ship it, and it's expensive. So I know people are like, why don't you just... It's funny, people will comment. When we announced Open Sauce, it was like, we'll be in the Bay Area, and people are like, when's it coming to Germany? Like, do you know what that costs to get a vehicle like that all the way? You can't just like book a flight on Southwest. Can I throw a truck in the bottom? We would love to bring it as many places as possible, but I'm sure most of you would agree. More so than seeing the prototypes, you want the truck to exist at volume so that you can drive one and own one and buy one. So making
Right.
sure we're careful with our spending and putting the money towards production and engineering.
Right.
That's the main focus.
And try and get the word out as effectively
Yeah.
as possible without breaking the bank.
Right, because you could very easily rack up basically whatever amount you want you could spend on marketing. There's no ceiling.
No, but
If
it's
you-
smart to take it to an event like Open Sauce
It's
because
so close to us.
it's close to you,
Yeah.
and there's a whole bunch of influencers or people that
Right.
have a huge following on the internet.
Yeah, they were
Able
posting
to just,
about it.
Yeah, post about.
was
I mean,
great.
it's a simple post of just like,
Mhm.
check out this quirky little truck,
Right,
and
right.
then they tag Tello, and then Tello likes it or follows
Yep.
it or retweets it or whatever
Mhm.
whatever media you're on,
Yeah, it was fun.
and then everyone gets all excited because it's like, oh hey, they tagged the brand
Very cost effective.
responded back,
Yeah.
and you got a whole bunch of people interested.
Yeah. No, I
That
think
turns
it was a good
into
call.
a reservation maybe down the line, not just from the creator possibly,
Mm-hmm.
but from followers of that creator who had no clue this thing existed.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it sticks with them more when they remember seeing it.
Right.
When they're like, "Oh yeah, I found out because they were there and they let me sit in it and I got to look at it," and that just makes it feel so much more real than like, "Oh yeah, I was scrolling and an ad popped up."
Yeah.
That's how I heard about your company, was a Reddit ad.
I see so many Scout ads these days. I'm like, that's maybe what kind of angers me sometimes.
Yeah,
Like I
they
excused
can
it.
afford it. They've got.
Well, I
lots of money.
excused it earlier in the
Yeah.
podcast, but at the same time, like, just get the truck out at this
Yeah,
point.
it's like you don't need to. You don't need to.
Like,
spend
people
money
want
on
the-
advertising.
The
right now.
Traveler, and that's great. Like the
Mhm.
the SUV thing looks great, but I want the Terra. Give me the
Sure.
truck. I want the truck. Anyways,
Bench seat.
like if Tello kept on doing yes,
The only ones. The bench seat.
but like if Tello was doing it, it's like I think I don't know if Aptera did.
I think
ads
they've
at
done
some
some.
point. But that was
Um,
something I was a little bit annoyed by as well, because it's like that product's not out. I get you're trying to get
Yeah.
the word out, and this is an effective
Well, and
way
they've
to
been
do
very
it.
crowdfunding, and I
Yeah.
think the advertising kind of helped with that. But
But I
Still.
think
Oh, I get
effectively
what you
getting the brand name out without spending so much
Right.
is a better tactic.
For
so that
sure.
way that money can go to getting to production quicker,
for sure,
even if it's low volume.
yeah,
Even if
yeah.
it's out of, I mean, calling it out of the garage is maybe a little
Right.
bit crass.
No, I get
But
what
to
you
be
mean,
fair,
though.
it's like if you are actually getting
Mhm.
production level vehicles out there,
Right.
probably in better quality than a production facility, honestly, because
Yeah.
you've got people paying attention to every single thing
Right.
rather than robots doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, devil's advocate to the social media ads, a lot of the time you can crank out a bunch for not that much.
okay.
And it's not like, I agree with you, but simultaneously, it's not like a $10,000 social media boost
Mhm.
is like, that's going to make or break the production run. When we're talking about tooling and how much money goes into those factories,
Mhm.
like 10 grand is like a drop in the bucket.
That's a good insight, because I've got, I don't know anything about the marketing, advertising side of things.
There are some, and there are often promos that those social medias offer where they're like, if you spend 10, we'll give you 30,000 worth. So I'm sure
Okay.
we haven't done much of that at all. But I'm sure Aptera or Scout probably unlocked some of those credits where it was just like,
Mhm.
we can spend a little bit and it's not going to be money that would really help much towards manufacturing, but just enough so that the marketing team feels like, hey, we got the word out, we got
Sure.
impressions. But obviously, I agree with you. If there is a way to get the same amount of traffic or even half as much traffic, but by spending a tenth the price or 100th the price,
Mhm.
do that. Like, I'd rather that money go towards, even if it's not manufacturing, just the engineers maybe getting a better pay or something.
Sure.
I don't know. I would rather them feel more comfortable and secure than, even if it's not like, because that's probably their argument, is they would say, well, we need to spend 500 million on tooling, so this little $10,000 social media campaign isn't going to change that.
Sure.
But still, when you're smaller and more capital efficient, it makes more sense to think like that. But
Going back to Open Sauce,
Yeah.
with all the people that saw it and you talking for 10 hours
3
straight
days.
for 3
that
days
was
or
brutal.
whatever.
Yeah, I was tired, but I
Jeez.
was passionate, so it kept
What
me
was the
going.
most common question?
Oh,
Besides, what is this?
What blew my mind was we had this big board up with all the specs, and I don't mean to be rude, but so many people did not read that board at all.
Sure.
And would just like, how the most basic, how long is the range? How long can it go? And it's right there, right where you walked in.
Mhm.
Or what's the payload, or how much does it cost? Of course, came up a lot, but not one time did anyone a scoff at the price, which I found fascinating.
Cool.
Because I was expecting that based on the responses we get on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok,
it's a small vehicle, so it means
if it's small, it has to be
cost.
cheap, right? It's they're literally
You're
people,
using less material, right?
I'm like, there is some truth to that, but I don't think people realize like that's not where most money goes in an EV.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just on the exterior.
There's a
panels.
crap ton of these. What's it called? The K trucks coming into the United States, and they only cost like $5,000.
Right. So why can't you're a similar size, so it should be big price, small price.
Right.
So that's been very difficult challenge on the marketing side.
It's reassuring though, at least in person, that people aren't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure out if maybe in person they feel like they'll come across as a cheap person, or they
There
come
could be
across
that
as
social
poor.
aspect.
If they're like, I don't want someone to say, oh, it costs around $40,000 to $50,000, and then they go, oh, that's so expensive. No, if you're like wanting to come across as successful and cool, you go, oh, 40, 50, okay, that's cool. But I was just so perplexed because I talked to, I wish I would have counted at least 200 people, maybe more, and almost all of them asked the price, and every time they were like, oh, that's pretty good, that's pretty reasonable.
Okay.
Every single one. I was waiting for that one guy to be like, oh, that's way too high, you got to come down. And online, that's all we get, like at least on TikTok especially, the comments. Literally, there was a comment on one of the reels that were like, this needs to be around 10 grand. And he got like 50 likes. And I was like, have you seen what anything costs? Like today, try to get a used Maverick.
Does he spend all day on Temu or something?
Like,
What's he doing?
Look at used 2022 Mavericks and tell me if you can find one for, I don't think you can. They're like, this
it has to be heavily damaged, probably.
Salvage type. I'm like, especially new cars, and then especially new cars from startups.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think it's very reasonably priced. I am biased, but
Didn't the Arcimoto cost like $17,000 or something like that?
yeah, no, that's about right.
And that's like a glorified like golf cart with a motorcycle.
I know they are.
bike,
I've heard they
steering,
are
all
fun
that.
to drive, but yeah, it's not a road tripper. Obviously,
It's not capable either. Like
even in the
Tello.
rain, you don't want to drive.
It doesn't have doors.
No, I think they had some add-ons, but still, yeah.
Yeah, you had to add on storage.
You don't want to drive that thing in bad weather for sure. But no,
And that's 17,000.
And the angle that we tried to come at it with, because obviously when Slate came out, a lot of people wanted to compare the pricing with Slate, which obviously Slate is cheaper. There's no way around that. But I tried to angle it more when people are asking about pricing. Is Slate is very much, I think, working as a secondary vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think most are going to buy a Slate as their only vehicle.
Sure.
It's like 150-mile range for around town is fine. And even with the extended range, I think they go 240.
Whether it's owned by the user or a company,
Yeah.
and that employee uses it as the work vehicle.
Yeah, they use it for one or two specific tasks, but then you're probably going to keep another car for when you need to do a road trip or when you want to haul more people. 4-doors sell at a lot higher volume than the 2-doors. So we got a lot of requests to do a 2-door Tello as well, but every time we talked to the fleet buyers, it was like overwhelming. It wasn't even close. They were all buying the 4-doors. So that's why the Tello prioritized that. But
I think even Doug DeMuro highlighted that too.
he brought...
Not even when
good
you
point.
guys were there. It was just
No.
like him highlighting.
Just when they reviewed the Slate.
Yeah.
But I do question, like, I don't know if there's ever been as much financial incentive to 2-doors as the Slate. Like in the past, when there were Jeeps and, Rangers, I think Maverick's always been 4-doors. But
Yeah.
the price difference between the 2-door truck and the 4-door was always very low, or very small difference. So I feel like, well, of course the 4-door sold better, but I'm wondering if because Slate is so much cheaper, maybe there will be a resurgence in people willing to go 2-doors. I'm not sure. We'll see. But basically, when people would ask about them, I would say, it's a cool truck, we're excited for them, but they're a secondary approach. You're going to keep your existing car alongside the Slate. The Tello's trying to be more the only car. I don't think it's going to be the secondary vehicle. It's going to be like you can fit car seats in the back, you can take your family, and have the high range. And you could get rid of your existing car, and this could replace it.
I don't mean to compare it to like an F-150, but like you see F-150s these days, and they're mainly just
they're family
SUV.
car.
Yeah, they're family cars with a bed.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
that's the Tello is a very, very small, compact
Right.
version of that, but it's still
It's
servicing.
can be a family car. Yeah.
Yeah, it's servicing that need or
Right.
at least that want from a majority of the market right now.
Right. Right.
Like you look at what people are buying, and I guess what companies are building is
Yeah.
crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
So people want that space, even though that the average amount of people in the car is 1.5 or
Yeah.
whatever that average is
that's
now.
the normal.
And
But
so,
of course, as we've learned, people buy cars for the yearly usages, not the daily usages.
Right.
It's like, even if it's something I do once a year, I want a car that can do that, you know.
sure,
That's why people buy trucks. It's not because they're towing every day,
no.
sometimes, but it's like occasionally I want the option to do that, you know. So
I've got 6 seats in my truck,
Yep.
and we don't use that 6 seat really
No.
much ever because it's,
It's
right
not
in the middle
super
between
common,
me and my wife, but it's always the center console.
Right.
And we've only used it, I think, maybe 2 or 3 times.
But when you needed to, I'm sure it was
It
handy.
was
You were
awesome.
like, sweet, we got the option.
Well, like
Yeah.
we're going to like a pumpkin patch or something like
Right.
that with some friends. I think that was the last time we used it.
Yeah.
Is we had friends coming, or we were going to pick them up,
Yeah.
and they were saying, "Well, we could just take 2 cars."
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't have to. We could take
Yeah,
the truck,
we can all fit
and the
in
truck's
there.
great because then all the pumpkins that we're getting from the pumpkin patch sit in the back of the truck,
There you go.
and
Exactly.
then the whole party of people fits into the truck, and we don't have
Yeah.
to take a second vehicle.
For sure.
And it's a very efficient way of doing it. It's
Sure.
a little bit inconvenient because then like you have to stop by different locations to drop people off, but like
Yeah.
it's a use case that only comes up. We've owned the truck 5 years.
Yeah.
It's only come up like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So it's not even like once a year basis that we are using the
Sure.
full capability of it. But it's still something we consider.
Yeah.
And so the same thing with like the Tello or an F1.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that people are designing or they are buying for just in case. And even
And-
if
right.
they don't have people,
Mhm.
they're going to put their stuff in there.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a single right solution. You know,
Right.
a lot of people, I think the Slate will be perfect. You know, I'd like for a lot of applications, that's all they need. They want the entry price to be as low as possible, keep it simple, and we need that on the market. Like,
It's almost like
That
the inverse
option's
of like phones.
right.
So
right.
like you look at like Apple and it's like, well, of course someone's going to buy an iPhone and then they might buy a MacBook and then
Mhm.
also an iPad. Those are 3 different products.
Very different.
And then
yeah.
you try to sell them like something that's a hybrid of them, or
Yeah.
like you look at the Microsoft Surface,
right, right.
where it's trying to be a laptop and a tablet or
both,
whatever, and
sure.
like it does okay,
yeah,
but typically people go for the Surface laptop
yeah.
because they want more of a laptop feel rather than
Mhm.
having like a
They don't
tablet
need
thing
the
or
whole
whatever.
tablet
Or like flip
yeah.
phones, I guess is where my brain
Sure.
is going to is like, yeah, there's a market for it, but do you see people replacing this flip phone, or I guess replacing their tablets and their phones with
Yeah,
a flip phone? Not really. They still probably have a tablet or
Right.
a regular phone,
for sure.
but they have that flip phone because
They have the option.
they have that option, and
Yeah.
that's what people do with vehicles. It's a,
No, it's
a weird
exciting.
inverse way of it, but like that's what people shop for.
Yeah. No, and I'm glad. I am so thankful because I remember in the early days before Slate, before Tello, my first car was a Ford Ranger, and I just did not feel like that market was being served at all. It was just all trucks were getting bigger and bigger,
Yeah.
and they weren't going in the opposite direction, and even the electric ones were huge. And I remember on our show even talking about, man, the Cybertruck's cool before we found out how
Crazy
expensive it was going to get, and
Yeah.
the exterior was going to have so many problems with it. But like before that, we kept saying I would be more interested in a smaller Cybertruck if they ever did a much.
That was something that
More
you brought up a
compact.
lot. The was the Wolverine
Yeah, they
edition that
teased that at
Elon
one
brought up
point.
at some point.
I don't think it's happening, but
No.
But still, I recall even back then it was like the brands didn't exist yet, but there was talk of like, yeah, making a smaller truck would be way cool if you could still get the range high and it would be way more energy efficient. So now it's awesome to finally see investment and tooling and manufacturing actually going into making mini trucks a reality.
Well, at least an interest in it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And not just like these startups saying that, hey, we're going to build it and people are going to buy it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
see reservation numbers and you see
Yeah.
people talking about it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And it is actually showing
Mm-hmm.
there is interest for that product.
Oh, for sure.
And that will make the legacy auto companies turn their heads.
Well, it's a key part of the market, I feel like, because pickup trucks are so popular, especially in the U.S.
Yeah.
And EVs, I feel like, have mostly pretty much tackled the crossover segment.
They've overdone it.
A little more than tackled, yeah. They've
GM's got 3 or 4 different versions.
covered it. Like, okay, we don't need more electric crossovers. Like, if that's what you need out of a car, there's many great electric options and more to come, even with the R2 and
Yeah.
the Lucid midsize are going to be even better than what's on the market. So it's like, okay, we're good. Same kind of story with sedans, not to the same extent with the options, but
It's kind of inverse.
there's a lot of great electric sedans you can choose from, and they're efficient, they're fast, they get good range. It's like, okay, we're good on sedans. But then you've got this pickup truck space that's very popular, but kind of struggling to go electric because they can't make them as aerodynamic. They're kind of inefficient by nature, by size, and so it's a fascinating segment that we're kind of finally seeing, I think, tackled the right way, which is no, you don't just keep the gargantuan truck and throw a bunch of batteries in it. You lean into the efficiency by making it smaller or making it more aero, and that lets you actually have practical range with a reasonable battery and
Right.
still a lot of utility out of it when you rethink how trucks are made. So it's
I think
like,
we even mentioned that on this podcast as well,
Yeah.
with Jim Farley going on record saying,
yeah, he mentioned that.
we can't keep making these big vehicles.
Mhm.
Like, pretty much admitting we are sinking a bunch of money
Right.
into these F-150 Lightnings
Yeah.
as Ford Motor Company, and we can't sustain it anymore.
No, I think he straight up said at one point, he was like, with our combustion engines, we found the bigger they were, the more profitable they were.
Mhm.
And with EVs, it's the opposite. It's like the smaller, more efficient we go, the more profitable they are, which is important because you need a profitable product for the company to stay afloat.
I
and
would
stuff,
really,
so.
I think I've said this as well before on
Yeah.
the podcast. I would really love, and this is probably very controversial,
Mhm.
if they made an electric Mustang that isn't the Mach-E.
Oh, yeah.
They take the current
No,
Gen
I think it'd be cool.
6, I think, or whatever,
I would
of
dig it.
the Mustang,
Yeah.
and just put a battery in it. Give it like the stupid. I mean, you don't even have to make it similar to the Daytona Charger
I wouldn't do the speaker
ridiculousness.
thing.
You don't need to do that, but like give it the Ionic 6N
Like on
treatment.
the interior, you can hear revving or
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
interior revving, but then also all the gimmicks of
that
you
you're
can
shifting,
paddle shift it. And
There you
it's
go.
Inefficient,
Why not?
but whatever, and then one pedal drifting and all that. Like,
That'd be
because
fun.
that's what people like with their Mustangs is
Yeah.
the driving experience.
Right. Yeah.
It's not about the sound. The sound is good, but like
it is good.
it's all about the experience of driving a Mustang.
I could see why that's a hot take, but I agree with it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are like, no, I'm glad Ford kept the real Mustang.
They're the only one
gas."
making muscle cars right now.
Right.
That's
But-
gas, I should say.
Yeah. And then the Mach-E is obviously much more of a mass market, like crossover segment.
It's their new Ford Edge, but
Right.
done right in the
just
electric
branded
space.
wrong. I think because they were instantly like, it's the best-selling Mustang. I was like, okay,
My wife yields to that though. Like she's a
Really?
huge Mustang fan.
yeah,
She owned a Mustang for a while,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it broke down. But like
Ford.
she's like, it's not a Mustang, but okay.
yeah,
If that's what it takes for the Mustang brand to be around,
Yeah.
and it means that the current Mustangs have some justification with their name
Mhm.
being best selling in some regard, okay.
okay, fair
Whatever.
enough. Yeah, no, it's I'm curious to see what other electric option. Obviously, Aptera is kind of reinventing the segment. I don't even know. Sedan doesn't feel right for that vehicle. It's kind of in its own world.
Quirky.
It's very quirky.
It's
very
the quirky
super
segment.
unique, but I love it. I'm a huge fan of like I would still totally drive one today.
Right.
It would have been very useful today, honestly.
Oh, it would have been awesome. I would-
Anytime it's 2 people or fewer, I drive an Aptera.
Same.
That would be it.
So that's where my mind is at as well. Is
Yeah.
like, even though I've got a truck and a crossover, I think,
Mhm.
well, driving the truck as a daily driver for my wife isn't necessarily the best situation.
Hmm.
And so what I would think is having her or me have a third option, even though it's costly to have 3 vehicles for 2 people.
Sure.
It would be nice to have something that one of us could take when we don't need to drive the truck.
That uses like almost no power. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, it could be something that. So, of course, her mind goes to a Mustang,
sure.
but then there's issues with maintenance and all that, in which
Yeah,
it's a
very-
cost that then we have to worry about.
Doesn't fuel itself. That's
No,
for
so
sure.
my mind goes to like an Aptera.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be great, but you can't buy that.
Not
And
yet,
then my
no.
other part of my mind goes to like, yeah, Dodge Daytona at the right price.
Yeah, with
even
all
though
the-
how ridiculous it is, wouldn't actually be bad to entertain.
I was gonna say 80 grand. No.
I guess yeah. What
But-
I'm shopping for is like, I mean, not shopping for
Yeah.
actively, but something like a 2-seater.
Yeah.
Whether it's an Aptera, Mustang, gas or electric, but it has to be like.
I bet the
actual
Aptera would
Mustang.
still be pretty fun though. It'd be quick.
Yeah,
It's not gonna rev like a Mustang, obviously, but
it doesn't need to.
no, it would still get around fast, and you could probably feel like you're cornering pretty well.
Right.
It'd be fun, but yeah.
Well, again, the point being, like, we talk about Slate having 150 miles, and
Mhm.
even if, like, the Aptera or a Mustang that was an EV or whatever, or the Daytona at that price,
Yeah.
if they made a version of that, if it had 150 miles, I would honestly be okay with it.
You could live with that.
Because it's not meant to be the road tripping vehicle.
Right,
That's
yeah.
for the Model Y and the Ram to
Yeah.
take care of.
It's not getting a ton of
This
range.
third vehicle is all about driving to work and driving back. It is
Sure.
the quote unquote work vehicle
Right.
for commuting.
Yeah. And that's the cycle life thing comes to my mind, which is what attracts me to the Apteras. Even with the nickel batteries,
Mm-hmm.
that's such a long range that even if you're just daily driving it, you're really being gentle on that pack. You're not cycling it much.
Right.
Because for one, I mean, it's topping itself off constantly, which is cool. But also, let's say extrapolate over the year, you drive 60 miles a day. That's a very tiny portion of that 400-mile pack versus a 150-mile pack. But
Especially if it's sitting out in the sun all day as well.
true, yeah, and even if you did replace the battery pack, it's way smaller than
Yeah.
most other packs, which was kind of cool. So, yeah, it's just a shame it's taken so long. I'm sure they're frustrated with how long it's taken too.
We're frustrated with it.
Yeah.
But they're probably
They're on
just
a whole
pulled-
nother level of
Yeah.
frustrated, I'm sure. But yeah, I hope they get there. Hope all the best. But yeah, I would be very curious. Again, the market is kind of, it's never been explored before. There's never been a self-powered vehicle like that. So we don't
outside
really
of
know.
university projects.
Yeah, right.
Or government projects.
Yeah, so we don't really have a firm idea how many people would be willing to buy that and at what price, and so
The closest thing we've got was like a Nissan Leaf with the solar package.
yeah,
And that
That's
didn't really
about as
do much
close.
besides power the
right.
AC.
Right, and that's not the same range and all.
No.
There's a bunch of differences, but yeah. So I'm very curious. I'm still excited for
Yeah.
the future.
Same.
There's a lot to look forward
I'm very
to.
optimistic about it, even though it's like very uncertain times and
Mhm.
things seem very bleak when you look at the news or anything like that.
Yeah,
like,
the news makes it seem bleak, but I'm
there's
optimistic.
still a lot of cool things that people
Mhm.
are pitching in terms of ideas.
Yeah.
And the engineers aren't stopping.
No.
The companies aren't stopping because they need to stay afloat.
Right.
And if they need to stay afloat, then they need engineers to work on new ideas to sell to the customer.
Yeah.
And preferably you have the engineers do it, because if you have the managers or the marketing people do it,
Right.
it's going to be a very inauthentic gimmick that
Right.
isn't really going to drive sales
Right. Exactly.
and not foster a positive outlook on the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Where typically if it comes from an engineer, there is a lot of thought that goes into it.
Yeah, which is needed.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, are you good there? Is this a good pause?
Pause.
Pause for another 6 months and then.
I don't want to pause for another 6 months, Drew, but to be
I don't
fair,
know when we can make the time, but it's cool to do it in person. The
I love
dynamic
doing it
is
in
so
person.
much better than this dang Zoom call.
yeah, I don't think people understand. I mean, maybe we've echoed it so many times in the past, but like
Yeah.
doing it in person, like,
Just feels quicker. Feels
yeah,
like we
or at
can-
least I can inject
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem like I'm stomping on your
Right.
audio.
It's like, what? What did you say?
Hold on, you're saying
Hold on.
something, but I was
There's
still
always
talking.
the
or
delay.
whatever.
Yeah. So maybe we'll. I don't know how frequent we can keep these up, but maybe
If Tello
we'll,
keeps you employed and you're still doing,
only coming. Maybe we'll just do them in person for a while. I don't
We'll
know.
try to convince Randy to come
He's
to the
got to
West
come
Coast.
up. Yeah, he's got to come see us.
He just
He
has
talked about that publicly. We can say that.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
in California right now.
Is he?
Yes. Yeah, you got to come up. We'll record with him. Anyway,
All right.
that's your challenge, Randy. You got to
If you're listening to
you
this,
got to come up. You got to come visit. We want to see.
Well, thanks for listening, y'all.
you. Yeah, good to see you all again.
I mean, it's great to allow us to talk with you again, or at
Yes,
least
thanks for
welcome us
tuning in.
into your ears and
It's-
eyes.
Yeah. Sorry it's taken so long. It's my fault mostly, but
I'll blame you.
that's fine.
I'll blame
I'll
you.
take the blame. It's
I mean,
mostly
I've been
me.
working my own projects on the side
Yeah, it's
over
not like
here,
you're
but like,
loaded with free time either. But
I'm not like building like a rocket ship or anything like that in the backyard, or like an EV project car or anything like that. But like,
Tailosive Motors. That's next. We have hats.
oh, I thought we were doing Tailors of Rocketry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll take down the nose cone
They're
then.
combined. There's rockets and cars. They go.
This is
together.
gonna be the whole Cybertruck thing that you, me, Nick, and Randy would rave about. It's
We'll
like,
take pre-orders and say they're coming next year for 50 years.
oh my God.
That sounds good.
All right,
Bye, y'all.
bye, y'all.